My very first memory ever was being taken in a car by a social worker from one foster home to a children's home. I just remember like hanging onto a leg and feeling intense trauma and fear and screaming that I didn't want to go there. I'd been sexually abused when I was really young. I didn't really understand that. So the messages from the media in the 70s and 80s and 90s were that if you were a child that was in the care system or was coming out of the care system, you would either be addicted to drugs or alcohol, you would probably be homeless, you would probably be pregnant as a teenager, or very likely you would be in prison, or probably you would die early. On some level, I kind of thought, well, that's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to let that happen to me. I'm going to just survive, and I'm going to go off, and I'm going to just, that's just not going to be happening. But for me to be in that space, I kind of had to deny everything that happened, and it was all stuck in my body, and my thoughts kept playing, and suppressed memories started coming through, which I understand now from coming to the 3 principles, understanding that suppressed memory is still just thoughts. And I was always like, well, I'm a really positive person because I read all these positive books, I do all this work, but actually inside my head was all this chat. So I went along to one of Elizabeth's, I think it was a wellbeing at work day, and I just heard so much in that, just so much around, hold on a minute, we're not broken. We've just had these circumstances that we've had to overcome, but actually we're innately wise, all of us. Like if we look back and think about things we thought about as a child, we've got our wisdom, but we're just taught along the way not to listen to it. It's sort of taught out of us in a way, which is kind of like, and it's like, oh, and we forget that we've got this wisdom already. It's so important to understand how your thoughts are working, because we're not taught it. We're taught about the weather system, we're taught about the solar system, we're taught about all these other systems, but are you taught about how your psychological system works, how your thoughts and feelings work?